सेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम् आपदामपर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भयनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिमुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं गोष्पदीगतवारीशं मशकीगतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्.
So we were in that part of the story of Trijata where she had told the Rakshasis about the dream that she saw just before dawn. Prophesied the victory of Rama and the decimation of not just Ravana but the total destruction of Lanka. So we saw that. Post that we started exploring a bit on who is Trijata from the descriptions that are given in different Ramayanas. The Ramayana is the most popular and oldest epic, which is more or less the seed of consciousness of large parts of the world. So there are Ramayanas in every language, perhaps in India, and go east, you will find it everywhere as well, whether it is Southeast Asia, whether it's Burma, Laos, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Mongolia, etc. etc. Trijata is known as Trijata in the Javanese, the Balinese version, as well as in the most versions in the Indian language. She's called by slightly different names in the Laos version and the Thai version and in the Malay version. Valmiki himself doesn't say what exactly is the relation she had with Vibhishana or otherwise, with anybody else in Lanka. But in his commentary, Govindaraja says she was the daughter of Vibhishana. So also does the Javanese Kakavin Ramayana. The Javanese Ramayana is a very famous Ramayana, supposed to be a beautiful piece of literature in that meter. Kakavin is supposed to be the name of the meter. So it's considered to be a beautiful Indonesian Ramayana. There also she is given the status of daughter of Vibhishana, as is done also in the Malay Ramayana. Now in Sanskrit there is one more Ramayana called the Ananda Ramayana. There are many more. One of them is Ananda Ramayana. In Ananda Ramayana she is said to be the wife of Vibhishana. In the Marathi Bhavartha Ramayana of Eknath, he portrays her, he says that she is the sister of Vibhishana. Sister of Vibhishana means sister of Ravana, Vibhishana, Kumbhakarna, Shurpanakha, all of them. So that's what the Marathi Bhavartha Ramayana says, as does there's a Jain version of Ramayana, where in the end of the Ramayana, Rama becomes a Jain Muni, I think. So the Jain version also says Trijata is the sister of Ravana. There are others. There's supposed to be Jayamangala's commentary on Bhattikavya, where also she is Ravana's sister. So there are three ways. Some say that she is the daughter, some that she is the wife, some say that she is a sister, all of Vibhishana. Vibhishana being the good man in the good Rakshasa. Trijata is associated with him and she is a good Rakshasi. In Mahabharata, there is the whole section on Rama story called the Ramopakhyaana. The Ramopakhyaana is in what is called as a southern recension of the Ramayana. The Ramayana has got two different recensions, the northern and the southern. The southern recension is what is the one that has traveled to different parts of Asia, to Indonesia, Bali and all. That is the southern recension. That is in consonant, that is in alignment with the Ramopakhyaana of the Mahabharata. So there's an interesting snippet that when Hanuman meets Sita in the Ashokavanika, Sita informs Hanuman that Trijata brought her a message from Avindhya about the well-being of Rama and that he and Lakshmana will soon be coming to rescue her from Lanka. So overall, all these adaptations of Ramayana, these tellings of Ramayana, as they say, different tellings, they all narrate the friendship and companionship of Trijata and Sita. Trijata, one who has got three plaits of hair, Jatai. She fulfills two important objectives in Ramayana. During Sita's captivity, she comforts Sita. That's one. And two, she constantly updates Sita about the latest news, the breaking news coming from the battlefield or whatever. So she's the one who keeps her informed. Now, the other literature, the later literature, credits Trijata with a bigger role. In the Ramayana, in later literature, just before meeting Hanuman, in Ramayana itself, even Valmiki Ramayana, before she meets Hanuman, now we saw that Sita was thinking of taking her own life. But she doesn't actually attempt it. Whereas in later literature of, say, there is this treatise called Prasanna Raghava. So where Trijata is Sita's friend and before Ravana comes, she and Sita are having a friendly conversation. And after Ravana goes, Sita is so upset that she decides that she will commit suicide and she tells Trijata so and asks Trijata to please prepare a funeral pyre for her, a wooden pyre. She wants to burn herself to death. So Trijata, however, refuses, saying that there is no firewood. There is not enough. The Kakavin, the Indonesian Ramayana, also narrates that when later due to magic, when the severed head of Rama and Lakshmana is brought before Sita, Sita is now, she thinks Rama and Lakshmana are dead. It's absolute replica of their head. And so she decides that there's no question, she wants to die immediately. And she asks Trijata to, now this time to prepare a funeral pyre. Now, she's not going to take an excuse that there's no, firewood, etc. She absolutely wants to die. And Trijata is so close to her, she says, I'll also die with you. But she says, let me just go and inform my father, Vibhishana, first. And she goes and then she returns saying, no, hold it. Vibhishana is news that Rama is absolutely fine and well and this is all a magic that has been done just to fool her. So she's got a key role to play in Ramayana, wherever the Ramayanas have been told, in whichever part of the world. Short role, but a very key role. The Ananda Ramayana, for example, narrates that when the war is at its height, at some point in time, she Sita hears the loud conch sound of Lakshmana. Lakshmana's blowing the conch. And she recognizes, she knows which is Lakshmana's conch and which is Rama's conch, etc. So she recognizes that sound and asks Trijata to go find out what has happened. And Trijata goes and checks and comes and announces the death of Indrajit. The Ramcharitmanas of Tulsidas also depicts Trijata breaking the news of Indrajit's death to Sita. In another episode in the Manas, Sita and Trijata, before the final war of Rama and Ravana, they discuss that, and Sita is absolutely in fear and in anxiety because she knows what kind of magic and what kind of Maya tactics Ravana is capable of and what kind of subterfuge and the kind of the rule breaking fighting that he is capable of doing, how strong he is, and he knows that he is capable of magically regrowing his head in case it is cut off by Rama's arrows. And Trijata reassures her that Rama will kill Ravana by shooting an arrow through his heart. So all these devotees, the texts emphasize that Trijata is very close to Sita and she is also a devotee of Rama. The Kakavin Ramayana, the Indonesian Ramayana, says that Sita was tormented by 300 Rakshasi guards in Ashokavanika. 300 Rakshasi guards across 3 shifts, or maybe 100 Rakshasi guards per shift, we don't know. But 300 Rakshasi guards dancing around her saying, I will eat you up, we'll eat you up, I'll chop you up, we'll chop you up, I want the heart, I want the liver, like that, tormenting her, asking her, why is she so obstinate, why can't she dump that man and become the wife of the greatest king of the 3 worlds, Rakshaseshwara, Ravana and all that. So when she is being tormented by all the 300 Rakshasi guards, it is only Trijata who comes to her rescue and offers her solace and keeps her company. And very interestingly, she's the one who keeps her spirits up by playing games with her. It's a beautiful Ramayana. Kakavin Ramayana is supposed to be considered to be the pinnacle of artistic expression of that part of the world. So, Trijata is remembered as a friend, a loyal companion of Sita in her time of need. And he, as they do, they like to understand the local religion, the local traditions, what is it that are the beliefs for their own purposes. But he came, you know what? So he came and he started studying Ramcharitmanas. He started studying Hindi, the local language. He studied the Manas. He became so engrossed in the Ramcharitmanas, he became an expert in the literature of Rama. I think he even got a doctorate or something like that. So he's written books. So he writes about Trijata and he summarizes Trijata's character as follows. He says, for more than 20 centuries, the poets who retold the Rama story have dwelt lovingly on Trijata's friendship for Sita. Trijata conquered the heart of those poets, and through them, the heart of all those who became acquainted with the Rama story. The poets of Ramayana conferred on the humble Trijata the boon of immortality. No dream is better known in India than the dream of Trijata, who will live forever in the hearts of millions of India as the ideal of a true friend, because she comforted Sita in her darkest hour. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So that's how wonderfully the character of Trijata has been explained by him. And so one character as beautiful as Trijata in a country as incredible as India, surely there'll be a temple or two for Trijata, and there is. There is a temple dedicated to Trijata, whereas in Kashi, and where in Kashi? Right next to Kashi Vishwanath temple. So there is a local katha there, a local story in Kashi, that how that came about. They say Trijata, after the battle of Lanka was over and Rama and Sita were returning to Ayodhya, Trijata wanted to accompany Sita to Ayodhya. Sita said, listen, in Ayodhya it will be a problem because Rakshasis, they will not accept there. So, but she says, she suggests to her that she goes to Kashi. She goes to Varanasi and she will attain moksha. She blesses her that she might attain moksha there. And not just that, she'll also be worshipped as a goddess in Kashi. So that's how the temple of Kashi apparently came about. Now going to Ayodhya may be something which is no from a Rakshasi point of view, but not Kashi. Kashi is, Bhole Baba's, this is Lord Shiva's land, and Bhutaganas. What Rakshasi? The Bhutaganas will scare the daylights out of all the Rakshasas. There is their land. It is the Mahasmashana Bhumi. It is the greatest cremation ground of the universe. So that in that place, of course, she is welcome and she goes there, and there's a temple for her. Devotees offer flowers every day and also green vegetables. I don't know. I don't know how much Trijata loves green vegetables, but that's what they give her in Kashi, and she is worshipped there. And there is a tradition that if a married woman, worships her in a shrine for 7 consecutive Wednesdays, they'll be blessed with children. And Trijata's shrine there is especially worshipped during the Kartika Purnima, which is all over North India is a very great festival, the full moon of the month of Kartik, called the Deva Deepavali as well. So in Kashi Vishwanath temple, they'll worship on that day, and then the next day, the first day of Margashisha month, after having a bath in the Ganges in the Dasha Shobheda Ghat, they'll go and offer worship to Trijata in her temple, and whatever they pray for will be granted by the grace of Trijata. So that's Trijata in Kashi, and there's another temple for Trijata in Ujjain, in a complex of Hanuman, in temple of Hanuman, where also there's a 3-day festival during Kartik Purnima for her. So on that note, we will conclude today the story of Trijata from different traditions, as different Ramayanas, and her worship as a goddess.